你们好, and welcome back to another episode of Ignite Your Power, the Kathy Mou Podcast. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. And if you don't know who I am Kathy. I'm an empowerment coach, and this is my podcast. And this is a space where it's all about self-development, learning how to live the bliss soft life, aka the BS life, which is a concept that I came about that my higher self or higher source led me to make this podcast to help people ignite their power to become the true amazing soul being that they're meant to be, to live the life that they truly desire and deserve. And so I teach you through self-development, mental health, holistic routes, tapping into your spirituality, emotional well-being, everything, right? Just so you can learn anything possible that can help you in your journey into living the BS life. And so I teach you also self-love and self-care tools that you can implement into your daily life. And so I have guests that come on and teach about their specialty of how they ignited their power, and hopefully that will inspire you too. But today's episode, since this will air on November 1st, I can't believe it's going to be already November. It's so crazy. And October, Halloween, the end of Halloween is literally just around the corner. And so I wanted to do an episode combining the two-ish. So this week's episode is going to be special because we move from Halloween to the start of November. We're not only shifting into a new month, but also into a new season of gratitude and giving, which I love Thanksgiving, guys. So today we'll talk about letting go of our inner fears, the ghosts of our past, while setting intentions for a month filled with gratitude, warmth, and openness. So let's make this month about not only releasing, but also embracing all of the goodness. But before we get into today's episode, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a little update about my life. But I just recently went to a wedding last week. From Friday to Sunday, I hung out with my mom's side of the family, which is so good. And then it was so meant to be that I was supposed to go to Vegas from Monday to Wednesday to hang out with my dad's side. And mind you, my dad passed 9 years ago, so I wasn't able to go to his memorial and to, usually do our ritual where we go there, we have a picnic with the family and to eat and hang out with him. Because this year we were actually out of town, which is a bummer. He's been gone for 9 years already. I can't believe it's so fast, but I feel like he's always been here every day. And the most special thing is Gemma, my daughter, has never met him, right? He passed before she can actually physically meet him. But I know that they met in, you know, heaven or wherever, uh, before she came onto this earth. And so when she sees a picture of him and when we go to the memorial area, she said it today, or not today, but yesterday when we went, she's like, "Oh, we're gonna go see Gong Gong," and Gong Gong means grandpa in Mandarin Chinese. And so I was like, "Oh my gosh," I was just so touched. And mind you, this is the first time she said that, but we usually go to the cemetery to see him, but this time she's like, "We're seeing Gong Gong," and I was like, "Whoa, she knows." And yesterday she was just like feeling him a lot. So there's like this little stuffed animal that we have, a teddy bear made out of his clothes. And so she kept saying, "I want Gong Gong, I want Gong Gong." Like she wanted to hold him. And, it was just the cutest thing. But it just reminds me that there's always more to life and there's always more than what we really actually see and what we focus on. And it's been so powerful to be more aware. And I want you guys to do that too. And I really wanted to share this story because I've been working through a lot of being aware and trying to change my old habits and thought processes. And I always look for problems. I'm a negative Nancy, and it's been really tough for me to change that perspective and trying to be more positive. But I'm doing it. I'm trying. And I really hope that you guys can do that too, because again, we are creators and we choose the life that we want to make in this life, and only ourselves get in the way. And so if you are feeling like you are the problem, Well, you are. I'm telling you straight up. So, if you feel like you're the problem, yes, you are the problem. But you know what? You can change it. So, you being here listening is already in the right direction. You wanting to improve yourself and to change for the better is already doing better. So, I'm proud of you. I love you. And just wanted to put that message out there because it's not easy trying to change. Honestly, it's not. It's hard work. Hard work trying to change your old habits, trying to be aware, trying to be better, trying to change your life for the better. It is tough, but it's doable. And there's so many examples of how people have changed from having nothing to being this great, amazing leader or being a powerful person, or, there's just a lot of stories out there. So hopefully you will be the creator of your own story. And yes, that was one thing I wanted to share because just going back to being on vacation though, this just reminds me of how family is so important and how lucky I am because in divine timing, though, I went to Irvine to go see my mom's side of the family for a wedding. But then how was it so synchronistic that it all worked out for me to go to Vegas? I mean, not Irvine, to from Irvine to Vegas to see my dad's side, which I have not seen them since 5 years since my wedding. And it felt like it was such a good thing to just reunite after my wedding after 5 years. Also, I didn't see the person who got married. He's technically my uncle, but he's like a year older than me, so we could say cousins. I think he feels better that way. But I haven't seen him too and his family since my wedding. And I was like, whoa, 5 years goes by so fast. So another reminder is that time goes by so fast, guys, that you need to treasure every moment and you need to be in the present moment. Being in the present moment is such a powerful thing. And so, again, my coach right now, I have an empowerment spiritual coach that is teaching me to empower myself to try to be in the present, or to not try to be in the present and not to, be in the past or the future, which I've talked about many times in previous episodes too. So go check it out. But in general, seriously, I thought I was doing better. I was like, oh, wow, I'm being more present. She's like, no, Kathy, every time you post about something, it's always being in the future. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. Like, I can't just be in the present. And so she's been giving me tools, and I will teach them to you guys in the future if, if you guys keep watching and staying here and supporting this podcast, because who knows? I may stop doing this because I may be on to other projects, but for the time being now, I'm here for you guys. And thank you for showing up, being here, and yeah, listening every Friday. Or every week. It is so amazing. So thank you guys. But let's go on to today's episode. So since it's gonna air on Friday, which is November 1st, crazy, I can't believe it's already November. So it's the day before Halloween. I kind of wanted to touch about on both that we're hitting Halloween, which is like a day where it's magical. People always think of Halloween as like a dark thing, but in the spiritual realm, it's like a magical day, right? It's cool. And then November, a new month, and Thanksgiving, or the month of being just grateful and thankful, is so beautiful. So I really want you guys to transition from Halloween to November. It's a great time to reflect on fear, right? Those ghosts we carry that often hold us back. Halloween might be filled with fun costumes and pretend scares like usual, but it also symbolizes something deeper, the courage to face what we're afraid of, even if it's just for one night. So let's take that Halloween spirit with us today and look at the real fears we might be holding on to. These fears can be big or small. Maybe it's the fear of failure, which keeps us from trying new things, which a lot of us honestly do, right? Or maybe it's the fear of judgment, which stops us from fully expressing ourselves because we're so trained by society to always look our best, to not be judged by others. But then maybe you're, holding back and not shining your light and being who you really are, right? So I want you guys to be less afraid. And sometimes, right, we're even afraid of our own success, of what might happen if we really step into our potential, which is the opposite of, wow, if I actually am successful, right, things might change. But whatever the fear is, it's like a ghost that lingers in the background, influencing our thoughts and choices more than we realize. And that ghost I talk about is our ego, right? We all have the ego to keep us as safe as possible, to keep us, our lives as normal as possible. But when you are stagnant, that means you're not growing. So, one of the biggest lessons I've learned is that facing our fears doesn't have to be dramatic. Often it starts with the simple acknowledgement. Think of a fear you have right now. Maybe it's about taking a new step in your career or even something in your personal life. By naming it, by really looking at it, you're already taking away some of its power. Fear thrives in the shadows, and just like a ghost, it often loses its hold over us when we shine a light on it. So I'll share a personal story where, again, like I kind of said, I've been so afraid of showing up for myself truly, of being who I truly am online, even showing, I do show some of my bad, like what I kind of go through, right, with the infertility, but I had for some reason fear of actually showing my normal daily life because I thought that people would find it boring. And I was afraid to share my husband and my daughter. And I don't know where that fear came from, but I guess I, for some reason, thought that it was, like I said, boring. I don't know. But I started showing up and doing that because I love sharing my family. I love sharing and showing that I manifested this at one point in my life. Like, I remember being in my 20s crying to want a husband. I would cry every night, like, where is my husband? Where is he? And then he did show up eventually when I was 21, about to turn 22, which was pretty young. So I've been with him for like 15 years now. Wild, right? And then and then next we wanted kids. And then I was crying like, oh my God, I want to be a mom. I'm never going to be a mom. But you know what? Universe showed up and gave me the chance to be a mom. I'm a mom to a 2-year-old. She is the most precious, cutest thing in the whole wide world. And I couldn't wish like this life any more than I can. And again, recently I just had a miscarriage, and it makes me be hopeful that I will be a mom again. I don't know when, but I know, right? But it's just like, just that silly thing of just showing up. I mean, it seems small to other people, but it's a big thing for me. And this is why you have to like be aware, be kind to others, because you never know what the perspective is and you don't know why they're fearful of certain things. And it may be from past lives too, not in this lifetime that you're afraid of certain things, right? But we all have fears that we don't even know or aware of, or we know we have certain fears straight up that we won't even face. But facing this fear was difficult, right? But every time I made a small step forward, like showing a little here and there, I felt lighter and more empowered. So it's a reminder that just like taking off a Halloween mask, facing our fears is a process that helps us become more of who we really are. And taking those small baby steps is how you're going to keep moving the needle. So think about what ghosts of fear are haunting you. What's one small step you could take to acknowledge it today? Just the act of saying, I see you and I'm not afraid to face you can be powerful. Okay, so jot that down and write it down. And when you actually sit down with your thoughts and, actually coming into terms of what those fears are, you'll be so much clearer on how you're going to overcome them in the next steps too. But you have to sit down and do this work. Okay, so now that we've taken a moment to acknowledge and begin releasing our fears, let's shift our focus to the exciting opportunity November brings. Yay! A fresh start. I'm so excited. I love the beginning of new months because it always shows like a new month to start new and fresh. And There's something powerful about the beginning of a new month, right? It's a clean slate, a chance to reset, reflect, and decide what we want to create moving forward. November especially carries this beautiful energy of gratitude and generosity. It's a season of warmth, connection, and focusing on what really matters. And I love Thanksgiving dinner and I love eating. If you know me, I'm a foodie. So my husband makes the best turkey and meal. So I'm excited for that. And of course, spending quality time with family, guys. And that's the other thing I love so much is like spending quality time with family. And so I'm so excited. I love Thanksgiving. That's one of my favorite holidays. But anywho, one of the best ways to start this month is by setting a clear intention. Take a moment to think about what you want November to represent for you. Maybe you want to focus on being more present, on deepening your self-love practices, or perhaps it's about spending more meaningful time with family and friends. Whatever it is, set a simple, powerful intention and hold it close. For me, I'm choosing to embrace gratitude each day and to be more in the present moment, or to be in the present moment, not more, to be all the time, 24/7, to be in the present moment. And I'll be carrying that with me throughout the month. And it's going to be a tough thing to do, but I know I can do it. And that's going to be so meaningful to me to be in the present moment because when you're in the present moment, though, that means that's you. You're truly being the soul amazing being that you truly can be in the present. You cannot be fully you, thinking about the past or the future because the past already happened and the future hasn't come yet. So being in the present is going to be the most exciting, best thing that you can ever do for your soul and for your physical human being. So I hope that's something you guys choose to for yourself. But along with setting an intention, let's talk about shifting from fear to thankfulness. When we focus on gratitude, fear tends to shrink. So this month, I encourage you to start each day with a simple gratitude practice. Just take a few seconds to think of one thing you're grateful for. It can be as small as the warmth of your morning coffee or as big as the people in your life. Over time, this habit creates a mindset shift, helping us see abundance instead of scarcity, love instead of fear. And finally, let's lean into the spirit of giving. November is a month that encourages us to give, whether that means our time, our energy, or even our love. Think about one way you can give this month. It doesn't have to be a big gesture. Sometimes it's simply being there for someone or sharing a kind word. One thing I've learned is that giving, even in small ways, opens us up to receiving more in return. It's a beautiful cycle that begins with a single act of kindness. In fact, giving doesn't just mean to others, it can mean giving to yourself as well. What if this month you decided to give yourself the gift of self-care, of self-compassion? This could look like setting boundaries, taking time for rest, or simply treating yourself with the same kindness you show others. Giving to yourself allows you to give more freely to others. Think about it. Isn't that so powerful? If you actually do give to yourself and focus November and self-love, self-care for yourself, it doesn't have to be all about others because December is always about others, gift giving to others, right? But November can be a time for you to prepare for all that giving in December. I don't know. You tell me if that resonates with you, but that sounds amazing. And now that we've talked about releasing fears and setting intentions, let's go over a few practical ways to bring gratitude into our daily lives this November. Gratitude isn't just a mindset, it's a practice, a way of grounding ourselves in the present moment and finding beauty in what we have right now. Here are some simple yet profound rituals you can try this month to stay connected to that sense of thankfulness and joy. So one, I've talked about this many times, start a daily gratitude practice. Each morning or night, take a moment to write down one or two things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be big. Some days it might just be the warm sunlight or a quiet moment to yourself. Other days it could be a supportive friend or an accomplishment at work. The point is to get in the habit of noticing and appreciating the good things around you. Gratitude is like a muscle. The more we use it, the stronger it becomes, and soon we start seeing more and more to be thankful for. Over time, this habit creates a powerful shift in perspective. And if you guys don't even have a gratitude journal, just wake up every morning and go into bed every morning to say at least three things. that you're grateful for. So, like in the morning, I'm grateful. Every morning, I wake up and I say I'm grateful for being able to breathe. I'm thankful for my daughter. I'm thankful for my husband, my house. And it already starts the day off in a good vibration. And at night, you can think of three things you're grateful for the day, or be the same exact thing. Like, thankful I'm breathing, I'm healthy, and my daughter, I have not my son, but my husband. Like, it's just that easy. And again, I want to give you guys a story of why gratitude is so powerful because I had a client who was actually depressed. She was going through a big transition in her life, and she felt like she was going backwards, and she felt like she wasn't moving forward in her life, and she just started looking and going down a rabbit hole of negativity, of perceiving everything as so negative and not going any way you want. And guilty, right? We all do this all the time. We put ourselves in a very negative state. And when you are in that process, it's hard to come out. But gratitude was what literally helped her come out. And so we talked about it, and I told her for the next 3 days, please send me your gratitude list every morning and every night. So every night she did it, right? And every morning she texted me. And the third night, not kid you, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I feel so happy. I'm so grateful." Like, her energy already shifted from this depressed state to her back to normal self. She was so happy, grateful for life again. She was able to move on and do what she needed to, and live her life. And it was just that easy practicing gratitude. But some of us don't even know the simple exercise or tools. And this is why I teach them to you guys daily, all the time, every week. So thank you for being here because you want to better yourself. And also, when you better yourselves, though, you're raising the vibration of the whole collective, of the whole, you know, earth and universe. Like, if we're being positive, that really contributes to the positivity. So even if you're just working on yourself, that's the greatest gift. You can help this whole entire world, which is crazy and cool and amazing. So this is why I want people to remember how freaking powerful you guys are. So this is why you need to ignite your power. Learn these skills, learn these easy ass tools to get the life that you want, because this is how easy it is. But you have to put in the work and do it. Okay, number two, create giving rituals. So November is also a season of generosity. So let's look at some ways we can make giving a part of our routine. Giving doesn't have to mean a grand gesture. It can be as simple as sending a kind message to someone, helping a friend, or even giving yourself permission to take a break when you need it. This month, think of one small thing you can give each week, whether it's your time, a kind word, or just lending an ear. Giving without expecting anything in return has a way of bringing unexpected joy and fulfillment into our lives. So, even if it's just giving somebody a small little compliment at the store, or you see someone walking down the streets and you give them a smile, it always brings joy to them, even though it may be awkward. But practice it and watch how amazing and how the positive energy comes back to you. Because I did this too. I think I've been trying to compliment more people and more strangers in general. And every time I give somebody a compliment, it not only makes them feel good, it also makes me feel good to see how happy they are. Even as just like us, oh, I love your nails, or I love your makeup. They're just like, oh, yes, like it just makes someone's day. And you never know what they're going through, right? So just doing a small act of kindness. So number three, plan a full moon release. We have a full moon coming up this month, and full moons are a perfect time to let go of anything we're holding on to. Whether it's a lingering fear, a limiting belief, or something that no longer serves us, this can be a powerful way to clear the path for new positive energy. Here's a simple ritual you can try. Write down whatever you want to release on a piece of paper. And when you're ready, find a safe way to burn or tear up the paper, symbolizing the act of letting go. As you do this, take a moment to breathe and feel the weight lifting. This practice not only clears emotional space, but also prepares you to fully embrace the gratitude and abundance the month has to offer. And this ritual is so powerful, guys, and it's so easy. So write down that list and then go burn it Or if you can't burn it, then just rip it into little pieces, okay? And last but not least, let's do mindful moments of gratitude. It's a little more different than writing what you're grateful for every day, like a gratitude journal. So this is you throughout the day practicing little moments of gratitude whenever you can. Maybe it's pausing to take a deep breath when you feel stressed or stopping to appreciate something beautiful you notice. These moments don't need to be formal. They can just be a few seconds of gratitude in the midst of a busy day. Sometimes the smallest, most spontaneous moments of gratitude make the biggest difference because they remind us to stay present and notice the beauty around us. So as we go through this month, let's make gratitude a regular part of our days. It doesn't just help us feel more positive, it also changes the way we experience life. The more we practice gratitude, the more we start to notice all the wonderful things we have. And that in itself is the greatest gift. And mind you, remember, guys, remember I told you that before I used to go on the same walk every day with my phone, but when I put my phone away, I was able to start being grateful, truly present, and then seeing all these beautiful flowers, which I was so grateful for. So every time I go on a walk or everywhere, anywhere I go, I see a flower, I'm so grateful because I'm like, whoa, it reminds me that I'm being in the present moment, that I get to see all the beauty in life. And it's just a beautiful feeling, guys. And when you feel that feeling, you're going to know, like, oh, this is what Kathy means. And so, if you guys ever had this moment, though, I would love to hear from you guys. Like, comment below or whatever. Share a story that you've had this feeling before. Because it truly is like a bliss feeling that you can't really talk about, but it's just like a feeling. Just like you being grounded. It's a feeling that you have, but you can't really explain, right? You know what you can do to ground yourself, but it's the feeling that you can't explain, and it's a beautiful thing. Okay, so about that though, Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and I'm so excited, like I said. But while it's a holiday known for gathering gratitude, we don't have to wait for one special day to bring thankfulness into our lives. As we move through November, why not make it a goal to bring more mindfulness and appreciation into our daily routines? Gratitude and mindfulness go hand in hand, and together they create a sense of peace and fulfillment that we can carry beyond just the holiday season. In a world filled with distractions, being present can be challenging, but it is also one of the best ways to truly appreciate life as it's happening. So throughout November, I encourage you to try a simple mindfulness exercise each day. It could be as easy as pausing to take a few deep breaths in the morning or fully tuning in when you're talking to someone. Mindfulness doesn't have to be a formal practice. It can be as simple as slowing down enough to really notice and appreciate each moment, just like I talked to you guys about the flower, right? There's another thing you can do. Reflect on what you're thankful for beyond material things. Thanksgiving is often about gratitude for what we have, but sometimes it's easy to focus on material things or things we feel we should be grateful for. This month, let's dig a little deeper. Think about the relationships, experiences, and even personal qualities you're grateful for. What are the things that have truly shaped who you are? Maybe it's the people who have supported you, the lessons you've learned through challenges, or even the strength you've developed over time. Acknowledging these deeper sources of gratitude can bring a new level of appreciation and fulfillment. Use Thanksgiving as a time for connection and giving back. As Thanksgiving approaches, think of ways you can use this time to connect with others, whether it's family, friends, or your community. Even if you aren't gathering in the traditional sense, there are so many ways to share in the spirit of gratitude and giving. Perhaps you reach out to someone you haven't spoken to in a while, volunteer your time, or simply send a heartfelt message to a loved one. Thanksgiving is a reminder that we're all part of something bigger than ourselves, and even small gestures can create a meaningful impact. Incorporate a Thanksgiving reflection ritual. Here's a simple ritual you can try on Thanksgiving or any day in November that feels right. Take a few moments to sit quietly and think about the year so far. Reflect on what you've learned, the moments of joy you've had, and even the challenges that taught you something. Write down a few things you're grateful for from this past year, along with any intentions you want to carry into the rest of the year. This exercise is a beautiful way to honor your journey and set a mindful tone for the holiday season. And as we approach Thanksgiving, remember that gratitude is about more than just saying thank you. It's about truly feeling that appreciation in your heart, letting it shape the way you see the world and letting it guide the way you treat yourself and others. Gratitude reminds us of what really matters, and it opens us up to receive even more abundance and joy. So this Thanksgiving, let's keep that spirit of gratitude alive, not just on one day, but throughout the month and beyond. Whew. So, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to today and joining me on this journey as we step into November with intention, gratitude, and a commitment to growth. I hope this episode has inspired you to let go of any lingering fears, embrace the beauty of new beginnings, and fully embody the spirit of thankfulness as we move through this month. Remember, you have the power to create a life filled with joy, abundance, and purpose. This is a time of year when we're encouraged to connect more deeply, not just with others, but with ourselves. So let's make the most of it. Let's use these days to let gratitude guide us, to nurture our connections, and to give ourselves the same love and care we offer to others. If you're looking to go even deeper and want some one-on-one guidance, don't forget that I offer personalized coaching sessions, numerology guidance card readings, and honestly, I'd love to work with you to help you unlock your potential, release any blocks, and start living your most empowered life. And you can all check this out in the show notes below or head to my website at www.kathymou.com to book a free empowerment session or to learn more about my services. And before we wrap up, I'd love to ask you to leave a review or share this podcast with a friend. Your support truly helps us reach more people and build a community of like-minded souls who are ready to step into their power and live fully. Until next time, thank you again for being here with me. Keep embracing your journey, keep practicing gratitude, and remember that every small step forward counts. So here's to a beautiful November filled with peace, purpose, and presence. Take care, and I'll see you next week on Ignite Your Power, the Kathy Mou Podcast. And don't forget to go live the BS life and go and ignite your power. Bye.